Hey everyone, it's Lego Impulse from Instagram, and I'm here to show you how to make your very own Lego custom green arrow. Now, before we start off, I am going to give you the materials. That way you can just go out and, well, get the materials firsthand, because who doesn't do that? So, we're doing green arrow from Season 4 and 5, I believe. I don't think he gets a costume change, but we're going to paint that. And before we paint, we obviously need the paint, so I have some paints right here. I have silver gray. I have gunmetal. I have silver. And I have another silver, which is probably going to be better than this one, because this one is not gloss. And it scratches off very, very easily. Whoa! It scratches off very, very easily, unlike these Craft Smart paints, which they have the black label, they have everything. They're special colors, they're multi-surface, while this one's, it's okay. You're going to want green paint, obviously. Now, this green paint, let me get out of here for a second. Oh, wow, I can't. Alright, scoot back to right here. Ah! I'm so bad at this. Okay, this green paint you want to get in gloss. And then you want to get another one in non-gloss, because they're just cheaper, really. It's apple barrel. And then, obviously, black. You're going to want black. Gloss. For his stubble, you're going to want brown in gloss. Wow, this is a lot of gloss we're going through. But yeah, when you're customizing Legos, I like to use a lot of gloss. White. We're definitely going to need white. Mod Podge. This is great for paintings. If you don't have it, get it. It's like, this thing alone is $2. They're all about $2 each. The cheap apple barrel one was just, I guess, $1. Now, what you're also going to want, a Sharpie, fine point. I'm pretty sure if you're customizing Legos, you've either used this once or used it for something else. Scissors, but I wouldn't, this is a hard one. I say scissors, but if you're experienced, X-Acto knife. In my opinion, I would rather use an X-Acto knife, but for those of you who can't do it, get someone else to do it and use scissors at first to make it safer. To paint, these are literally my paintbrushes right here. Toothpicks, a giant toothpick, and thumbtacks. I used to use a brush. I didn't like how it worked out. I just don't. For my original green, I did a green arrow before. For my original one, it was, I used a knockoff minifigure head. I just painted a body. This was like my early days of customizing. I didn't even paint the back. I just left it. It was some Star Wars thing. I just kind of all around just painted it. I lost the hands to it. So this was season 1. Yeah, when it first came out, season 1, I did this one. The hood is kind of like the new style. I updated it, but that was it. Today we're going to do something different. We got plain green legs, plain green body, and then a head. I got this shaggy head from a 99-cent store pack, just because, it's the skin tone we need for Green Arrow, so got that. The hood, I am just going to take the paint off of this one and reuse it. And then the bow. For my Green Arrow's bow, I'm going to give him this one painted. Now this I got from Legolas, who was, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Holy shoot, I didn't want to offend people. But from The Hobbit, / Lord of the Rings, I'm guessing. I think it's the same thing. I'm more of a Potter nerd. Anyways, we want this bow. Now, the bow he has isn't going to come like just like this in the pack. It's going to come like an average bow does. What you want to do for the bow is with the X-Acto knife, you're going to cut this end out, cut this end out, cut this off, and then cut that off. And then you're just lightly going to, I would say sand, but just keep chipping away until it's smooth. And then it's basically just this comes off, on the top of this arrow. That's trash. Unless you want to save it for something else. My old green arrow had a very unique quiver. I used, I guess it's a neck brace, I would call it, and then a quiver from an old K'NEX thing, I don't know. But we're going to make our own this time, using another neck piece like this, and this right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to erase the stubble, because if you hit this with an eraser enough times, the stubble will go away. Just erase it. I'm also going to erase the eyebrows since the mask is going to be covering that. Alright, I erased the eyebrows and the mouth, and well, he looks kind of weird, and oh, there's still eraser on him. But we are now going to paint the face. And for this, we're going to use the toothpicks. The toothpicks, we're going to just trace green all around his eyes. Okay, now all I did was go around the eyes. Okay, there's my attempt right there. There is some smudge right there where I'm going to have to take off, but I'm going to let the paint dry first. And I'd advise not to hurry this, because I accidentally smudged the eye. Just a bit. I'm going to have to redo that part. And then I'm going to put the stubble on right afterward. Now, to keep the base of the green, I don't want to add black paint to it, or I'm not going to need to add black. So I'm just going to do it in with Sharpie, the design I came up with, and now we're going to add just some minor silver to the points where there's buttons and the zipper on top, of course. And before doing that, I'm gonna probably test out the silvers because I got a whole mess and I don't know which one I'm gonna use. Decided to use gunmetal for the zipper because it looked a bit more industrial-like, I guess. And I used silver gray for the I guess buttons, attachments. I really don't know what they're called. I know what they're used for, but I don't know what they're called. And for the little backpack kind of straps that he has, we're gonna use another material because I feel like painting it on would be just a bit too much. Alright, we're gonna be painting this material, which is found on this. It's a pencil bag found at the 99-cent store. What we're going to be using is this other side. This is a brand new one I got for extra material. If you don't know what a 99-cent store is, you're probably in a very better side of town. But anyways, this is what we're going to be using. We're going to cut out probably no bigger than the torso of a minifigure, most likely. So the outcome is going to look kind of like this. I have it unpainted so that you could see the contrast. That'll be the sleeve for right there. I think it's for his quiver. Okay, so one kind of came out shaped differently than the other. I don't really mind that, though. It has a 3D aspect to it, so I kind of like that. Alright, so while the torso is drying with the straps, I just did this real quick design on there. It's kind of hard to get the shape of it to show you on this camera because it's just an iPad that's recording, but hopefully with all these angles I'm giving you, you can kind of see what I'm going for. And right now it's just the black Sharpie, so we're gonna paint on top of it. Alright, so I got the pants to be this design. I actually used the silver, just the straight silver for the legs because it was kind of different on the costume. I think it was like a different material, but I used gunmetal for the middle, and then silver gray for on the waist, on the ends. And yeah, the boots, I think I'm gonna mask the top part off, and then I'm gonna mask the top part off with tape, and then just paint the rest. Either that or just Sharpie, and then show you at the end what I normally do. Alright, so I ended up doing an outline of the mask in black. And I'm going to do the stubble in brown paint right now with the push pin because it's thinner. Alright, with the brown paint I put just a little bit of stubble. I didn't want to put too much because I know that the hood is going to mask a lot of it. And you can't really get as thin as Lego gets their prints. So I'm just going to leave it at that. Alright, so the body ended up being like this. I painted some minor details on the straps. My original Green Arrow head did come with this custom Green Arrow and bow. I had already told you about the process of the Legolas bow and how to do it on any kind of bow, really. Or you could keep it like this and paint it, but for this one I'm going to leave it as brown because I honestly could use this for someone else and just give Green Arrow this arrow and bow that he has right here. So I'm not going to change that. I honestly could have just changed the face and everything on this one, but this figure has so much amount of paint on it. It's so inaccurate, but like, I don't even want to go into it. So right now, we're just going to customize the hood. If you have a different colored hood piece, just paint it green, unless it's a dark blue hood, because I heard they stopped manufacturing those ones. You might want to keep your hands on it, so if it's like a brown hood, I did that for my Roy / Arsenal, and I'm just going to scratch off the paint from this with the toothpick, the big one, and then I'm going to repaint the details. I redid the black lines in Sharpie, and I did the sides, obviously, in Sharpie. Alright, I already painted the insides, which is very easy since you have the black underneath. You don't have to paint it around. So if there's an outline of something, just paint it all in, and then you can fill it in later. It's usually the easiest way for me to go. So I already got the hood done. What I was going to do was get the dark green arms and paint the skin on it and paint all the details. But I'm actually going to use the shaggy arms, which I also got with, obviously, the shaggy head. What I love about this is it gives me a rough outline of where the top sleeve should end, and then I can do just mini green on the bottom, and then just obviously switch out the hands for black ones. So I'm going to go with that right now. Okay, so for the arrows, I'm just going to make so that these silver parts are, well, the arrows from the shredder glove. I hot glued it in here, and it's kind of messy. I can just cut this excess off, and then I cut the neck brace of one of the quivers of these ones a while ago because I used one of these for a separate custom. So I had an extra one of this just lying around, so I did that, and I'm going to cover it right after, and I'll show you how that works out. Alright, so I covered it in the purple material, and you can still kind of see it on this side, but honestly the back is going to cover that. I just made a point at the end, just folded the two corners onto each other. That way it looks like, whoa, there are arrows inside there. Alright, so I did the quiver pack, and I have to say I actually really love how it came out. It has this like 3D-ish aspect to it where you could just get one and pull it out. So I'm going to keep the new quiver as opposed to repainting this older one, because this seemed a bit too long, a bit too surreal, and all the paint on it, it's old. I'm probably just going to chop it off and reuse this neck brace for something else. Although it probably would have been better to cut it off and then use this on here, but it's too late now. It's actually coming out better than I thought it was going to come out. Like, I can't go in too close without showing all the detail, but maybe if I get enough light, you can kind of see where this is going. Alright, so he's pretty much done now. Green Arrow, I Mod Podged everything so that it'd be more resistant, and I've got to say I'm happy. I did not paint the back, but you know what, I'll do that later, because right now, for me, I don't even know what time it is. I'm tired. I did this all in one day, painted this all in one day, continuously. It actually didn't come out that bad compared to how my last custom came out. Yeah, I've got to say that this is a complete improvement. I'm not even gonna whine about it. I love it. The quiver, probably one of the best things I love about it, because nobody has done this quiver, and with the cloth material, the cloth 3D straps. I probably could have done more with the cloth, but I'm just gonna leave it like that. And there you have it, custom Lego Green Arrow.